Hey, Zeno, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for
Um,
inviting.
yeah, totally. I was looking back at our correspondences just now, and I think we started this process two
A
years
while
ago,
ago.
almost 2 years ago.
Yeah,
And so I'm glad, the project's moving on and going to happen. So
me
I was
too.
just wondering where you are with the piece and what you've been thinking and how it's changed.
You shouldn't ask this question to myself at least. No, I mean I'm working constantly on it. I just had a break for this crazy year. I mean the pandemic forced me to stop the process. Like I started thinking about this piece more than a year ago, and starting in September 2019, I started properly experimenting, also buying new stuff, new equipment to work on. And I started experimenting at the American Academy in Rome, where I was fellow for 3.5 months.
Where do you live
And
now?
sorry?
You live in Milan?
No, I live in Verona,
Okay, gotcha.
where I am at the
Nice.
moment.
Awesome.
But in a few days, I will again be resident in an American institution in Italy,
Wow.
working on your piece. So there is
Nice.
this.
It's
Uh,
constant.
yeah. It's coming over and over. This mixture of American institution. Uh, Having me as a resident fellow working for an American ensemble, it
Great.
kind of makes sense. So I started at the American Academy, but then as I told you, I had to take a break, not because I wanted to, but because, as many others, and as you probably know yourself, yeah, the pandemic stopped everything. So the schedule was completely upside down
Yeah.
immediately, and everything that I planned for last year got shifted or cancelled or postponed, and so also I wasn't really able to focus on the piece for many reasons. And then I started again really focusing on this project a few months ago,
Hmm.
and now I mean I'm pretty happy about it, although I didn't write so much, but I worked already a lot. So the whole form starts to have a shape, a
Hmm.
precise shape, and the material. I worked incredibly a lot on the material because I really wanted to experiment with this project because Jan Wire is a very adventurous entity to me. I really like your attitude of being, I mean, already thinking about the traditional instruments that
Hmm.
you have,
Hmm.
they are already very open. I mean,
Yeah.
percussions. When you
Yeah.
think about percussions, is can me can be really a lot of things
Yeah.
compared to flute or.
Right.
Uh, so
You
that
tell
was
flutists
already a
that.
starting point. That was already very exciting. But then your specific way to work with composers and with new repertoire
Hmm.
kind of encouraged me to think in new terms,
Cool.
and this crossed somehow what I was doing before, focusing on this specific project. So there are some topics, for example, feedback,
Hmm.
transducers. So it's a mixture of technical gear
Hmm.
and musical content, and these two aspects are. I'm looking for a solution in this piece.
Cool. So what are some of the electronics that we're going to have to deal with? I think you've sent me some lists. I got to do some orders from Parts Depot, right?
Now, I'm actually ordering, I will be soldering myself
Okay,
because
cool.
I realized I was asking a lot. not only economically, but also in terms of, I have to buy this, solder this, and I mean, I'm asking really a lot. So I decided that I gladly I prepare some stuff, and then I will be shipping to you
Cool.
some ready material. And then, of course, I mean, this situation in which mobility is still unsure. I mean, we will
Even with the
probably,
vaccine, yeah.
yeah, we will probably have to rehearse remotely.
Yeah.
So I'm really thinking in those terms now.
Cool.
Like
Yeah, I mean
thinking,
it's the same for us. I think we're gonna, like I told you, we're gonna probably document the piece first, do a recording
yeah,
and a video
it's
first
somehow
because we just don't
exciting.
know. Yeah,
It's something new.
yeah,
I mean, an actual performance is, of course, a completely different
yeah,
level of hearing,
yeah.
of listening more than hearing. But
Totally.
still, it opens up new possibilities,
Yeah.
and it pushes you to find new solutions. So it's not bad.
So what are the transducers going to be on? Just drums or?
I finally decided what what instruments are gonna play. So basically, the piece is gonna have is two mirrored faces.
Mhm.
One pianist and one percussionist will be focusing on acoustic instruments.
Okay.
The piano will be prepared, and the percussionist will play a mixture of objects that you showed me,
Hmm.
beautiful objects,
Hmm.
bells, uh, steel objects,
Hmm. Cool.
undefined objects with
Yeah.
marvelous harmonics, plus a set of steel bottles
Cool.
that I have been working a lot with, because I was looking for a microtonal solution. I wanted
Like water bottles or?
yeah, like this. I can show you this. This is just one of the 10 I have at home now.
Wow.
I will write for 7 of them, but basically they are
Oh wow.
drinking bottles,
Yeah.
normal, and
Yeah.
nowadays they are very common
Yeah.
because of the I mean, the world tries to
Plastic waste.
reduce the plastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's also a nice endorsement.
That's right.
But besides that, it offers me the possibility of tuning with very subtle differences, uh, similar objects
Hmm.
with the amount of water. And
Oh,
this
that's
is
awesome.
a easy and cheap solution, because
Hmm.
normally, like for example, I was thinking also about some
Yeah.
Tibetan bowls, but these are very expensive objects. And
Yeah.
also, I found out that if you put water on it, it's not affecting the pitch as much as
As
it.
much. Yeah. You need a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so battles are great because
Yeah.
uh, it opens up a huge world of possibilities in
That's
terms
cool.
of tuning.
And
So
also
this,
we get to drink it after.
yeah, absolutely. You can fill it, you can fill it with water, or if there
Wine for
is,
afterwards.
yeah, according to the country in which you will be touring my piece, there will be a Russian vodka performance, a Serbian rakia performance.
Awesome.
Here, Verona is famous for Valpolicella red wine, so
Oh, great.
I will be taking care of that when you come here for the Italian tour. Um, So the percussionist and the pianist, one or two, let's say the acoustic, they play more or less traditionally their instruments.
Okay.
The other two are the mirrored electronic part, and they are particular also, and this is also something that something new to me, at least. I'm trying to to build a hyper instrument. So the pianist is performing, will be performing a keyboard,
Nice.
a MIDI keyboard, like a synth coming from
Mhm.
the software,
Mhm.
from the laptop, running from in the laptop. And the output of this keyboard is not coming from normal speakers, will be coming out from transducers.
Awesome.
But they are called in different ways. In English, I mean, it's not my mother tongue, so I looked for how it is translated also to, you know, to discover what to write in the score.
Yeah.
And they are called either audio exciters or
Mhm.
tactile transducers. I mean,
Yeah.
basically what they do is they let resonate the surface
Yeah.
that they touch. And so the keyboard, the sound of the keyboard comes out from two of these speakers,
Mhm.
small speakers, and the percussionist has holds these speakers in his hands
Cool.
and applying it to a small drum set. So
Nice.
skins of tom-toms or
Mhm.
cymbals, and so you have many surface materials, resonances, and I will be working with feedback because there are going to be two contact microphones.
Mhm.
And if you apply a contact microphone, for example, on a snare drum, and this tactile transducer comes close enough, they they produce feedback. They start resonating the space of the
Cool.
snare. So it's kind of a middle way, a middle point between an acoustical investigation
Mhm.
and. But I don't want you know this is exciting to me also. I'm for these kind of things I'm inspired of course from people like Albin Lucier
Yeah.
or I mean people who have been working a lot with acoustics,
Mhm.
but I don't want this piece to be an investigation, merely an investigation, not because it's poor,
Right.
but
Right.
because it's not my language. I want to include this in a broader discourse,
Got it.
language, or whatever.
Are you thinking also of having normal loudspeakers too, or is this just totally self-contained, do you think?
I think it depends on the space in which you will be performing.
Okay, but there's no like backing electronic track that needs something else.
I would gladly avoid it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I mean, I'm trying these things myself
Yeah,
since
no, that's
a
cool.
year actually,
Yeah.
both on the piano and on the percussions,
Yeah.
and I can guarantee that although these are small,
Yeah.
uh,
That they'll be heard.
sounds coming from the snare set, like from the drum kit, sorry, with this is huge.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
I don't know if it's my feeling, my perception in a small
Yeah,
room.
right above it.
It
Yeah.
could be. I mean, I have no idea. Uh, if the
But even
hole is
so, yeah.
huge, maybe some extra amplification is not a bad idea. But
Yeah, I mean, but that would be amplification of essentially treating it like an acoustic instrument, right? So,
exactly,
okay,
exactly.
that's
It's
great. I love that.
absolutely the same principle.
Awesome. Yeah, and you sent me some of those videos, so I'll pop some of those up. I
Yeah,
don't know how many of those techniques are going to be used, but they're pretty cool.
I think most of them.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
one piano.
one piano.
Great.
The piano is going to be prepared
Okay,
microtonally as well.
nice.
And in the second part, the pianist is also going to create feedback on low strings.
Cool.
So the pianist is gonna hold a contact microphone in her hand,
Mm-hmm.
and in the other hand there is a transducer,
Mm-hmm.
and if you place them close enough, the feedback is starting. But if you
Nice.
push it on a low string with the resonance pedal down,
Mhm.
this creates also a huge space, a
Awesome.
very beautiful space. And this is actually the very beginning idea of all. Like I found out this during the residency in Rome, I
Mhm.
mentioned earlier, and so it's a year ago. It was
Yeah.
September 2019 when
Wow.
accidentally I thought, instead of just playing, external music
Mhm.
through the speakers, why don't I give as an input the contact mic, and I started experimenting, and then a feedback came out. And feedback is very often a very aggressive beast. It's
Yeah.
difficult to control, is very aggressive. I mean, people of our generation, of course, you think about rock, about
Yeah.
electric guitars close to the mic and like raging.
Yeah.
But although the sound is aggressive, I wanted somehow to find a way to control it, to tune it. And if you place the feedback on a low string
Mhm.
of the piano, somehow you are able to tune it to the harmonic series of that string. So this is another aspect that I find exciting about this piece, that and I hope you will like this aspect. We can discuss it further. But I think it's, generally speaking, a direction I'm taking lately in the last years. But I really like to find a path, but I don't want to define each step you
Mhm.
have to take. I want
Yeah. Yeah.
just
That's cool.
to kind of enlight the street you have to
Yeah.
walk, and then you will be kind of free to find what I'm looking for,
Cool.
and I hope you will be feeling in charge of it,
Yeah. No, I
uh,
love it.
because for example, this process, of finding, of tuning the feedback inside the harmonic series of a single pitch,
Mhm.
is something that I can try out a million times to think to I'm looking for some anchors, also to understand how to write these things, and somehow I want to keep it free.
Yeah. That's cool.
Not
Do you
completely
think that
free,
comes
but
from? Do you think it comes from? I mean, you use guitar pedals a lot in your work, right?
mhm.
Do you think that this is an extension of that kind of
Yeah,
process?
yeah, I
It's very
think
physical and like it's very
it's very physical.
like
I
not
mean,
predetermined.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Also comes from the fact that I am not trained as an electronic musician.
Yeah.
I just had some exams in my composition studies, but this is really something, like, I'm not a serious electronic guy. I don't know the theory, I don't
Hmm.
know programming at all. I just like to have gear around
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. It's like a
If I can
tactile.
afford it, I buy it, or I
Yeah.
just lend it from friends. And uh,
Nice.
yeah, unfortunately, I have a lot of friends also who operate in different contexts of music. I have friends who are playing in rock bands,
Hmm.
or scoring film music, or jazz musicians a lot.
Yeah.
Hanging out with cats is always fun, and
Absolutely. Yeah.
and
Cool.
also gear that is arriving at my place is very unpredictable, and I like a lot this approach of using my hands
Hmm.
on things and understanding how they work, using my ears before my
Yeah.
brain, before studying the theory. I mean,
Awesome.
slowly I'm also trying to understand things because, yeah,
Yeah.
about synthesis or filters,
Yeah.
it's actually good to know some theory. But still, I consider that relationship with objects, with gear or machines,
Hmm.
synthesizers, a kind of laboratory
Well,
of
we have we have two rat distortion pedals just sitting around. If you would like to incorporate those into
you
it.
are encouraging to add new stuff to the list. That, be careful.
Do you have a title yet, or is that come
It's,
later, or where's
it's
that?
there is not a title. There are a lot of images I'm floating around.
Nice.
There is a picture, like I have a very, very deep interest in octopus
Oh,
lately.
cool. Can you
And
send that to
actually,
me? Did you send that to me before?
what, a picture of
Yeah.
octopus?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. No,
Okay.
I'm watching movies. I'm reading a book, a very interesting book called titled Other Minds,
Hmm.
that is talking about this kind of weird intelligence that octopus have.
Nice.
And I mean, I don't know, it sounds strange to think about that for the piece, but it's actually close to the last piece I wrote that is now, unfortunately, a year ago. It's
Mm.
called Deep Staria. And in
Hmm.
that case, I was fascinated by a jellyfish, a
Hmm.
very rare jellyfish that they discovered in the 80s. And this jellyfish has the peculiarity of not having a form. Like the body,
Oh, cool.
the shape of the body is unpredictable, can be
Hmm.
everything because they don't have bones, they don't have skeleton, it's just this blobby thing that can become anything.
Mm.
And this was really fascinating, and it's very close to the sound world I'm exploring through synthesizers, through analog devices in
Cool.
particular. Because the analog world is very dangerous, is very wild,
Hmm.
but has this incredibly exciting aspect that you will not be coming back to where you started. You you take the train and you don't really know where you're going sometimes, and shapes can become something completely different. And octopus somehow is similar. Also, I don't know. It arrives this idea also for the relationship I mentioned between the keyboard and the extra percussionist.
Right. Yeah.
So
It's like
they are
different
really
arms.
bounded together, and I had this image of proximity and of touch.
Mm.
There is this other aspect of octopus that is fascinating me, that their brain is not like in our case a central machine,
Hmm.
but it's distributed through the whole
Wow.
body.
I
They
had no
they
idea.
have, I don't remember how many uh, mm, how you
Like nodes,
yeah, exactly, like no, the le ventose, how is
the
it called?
cups.
Yeah, like they have many
Hmm.
sticky
Yeah.
fingers,
Yeah. Yeah.
and their intelligence is in each of them. Each
Wow.
is independent, so
Mm.
it's crazy. It's like to have 10,000 hands going in every direction and touching things and discovering surfaces in that way.
Wow.
So I think, I mean, I don't have a title yet, but I think it's gonna have something to do with senses, with either smelling or touching or something a little bit wild about it, probably.
Nice. Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that. There's no score yet, right?
Oops. But no, but there will be soon, because
Yeah.
as I
I'm not
told you,
worried.
I worked a lot, and generally speaking, also my way of working in the last years went in this direction, that I record a lot of stuff, and then the score is more or less a transcription of what I have been
Cool.
working on acoustically directly.
Awesome. Well, I hope we get this is a new working process for us too. Normally we have like a set date, and I remember all of our frantic correspondence last year. It's just like, do you think it's going to happen? No, no, no. And so I do think, this spring, March, April, sometime it's going to happen in
I
there.
really hope.
So
But
yeah,
I decided to give myself a deadline, because, as you
gotta
know,
do it. Yeah.
composers are very, very bad with deadlines.
Mhm.
If we don't, or at least I speak for myself, because
No, it's pretty
we're
across the
not
board.
all
Yeah,
the same, but more or less,
pretty much.
yeah, pretty much. And for me, I mean, and it's not a lack of interest, of excitement, because this project for me represent exactly what I want to do in life. You know,
Awesome.
experiment, working with people you feel a connection, an
Mhm.
artistical connection. Um, but still, if you don't have a deadline, and if you have to struggle with all the rest, like this
Right.
pandemic weird year, it's difficult to get to
Yeah.
the end. So I decided to push myself, and January I think is gonna be a great opportunity, because I will be locked in like a beautiful prison. This foundation, Bogliasco
Nice.
Foundation,
Hmm.
I will be together with other 4 artists or scholars. I don't know yet who they are. I think there is gonna be a philosopher, a choreographer, and I don't know.
Cool.
And we will be locked, like we arrive there, and for a month we are there. No
Wow.
possibility to go out, no possibilities to have visits. Like, it's gonna be
Wow.
boom, just
Serious.
that. And yeah, serious. And I asked, I will have the great opportunity to have a grand piano there.
Amazing.
I have actually, the guy working there built a stand for my bottle set.
Whoa.
He built a beautiful wooden stand. I already saw the
Dang.
pictures.
Awesome.
He built it. You can move it, so it's perfect. I'm looking forward to hang my 7 bottles,
Nice.
work with the grand piano. So I'm confident that January, if I don't finish the score at the end of January, I will be close to it.
Cool. Well, I'm hoping that we, get our schedule. I know we're going to get our schedule together and have a date, and then they'll give you some more fire.
Helping me, giving
Yeah,
me
I'll
that.
get you some fire under you. We need the music. But
Exactly.
it sounds really awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. And when you're there, send more pictures and stuff like
Absolutely.
that.
The place is stunning. I have, like, my studio
Yeah.
is, is I think something like 8 meters from the sea.
Wow.
Like, I have yeah, I mean, I'm excited. It's gonna be
You're
a
not going to
great.
get any work done.
I think so, because if it would be June, I would agree with you. I would go swimming, and
Oh, that's right. It's winter.
yeah, I think about the piece later. But like, this is kind of like a romantic, Sturm und Drang sort of stuff. It's
Awesome.
like I will have to buy a long coat, and acting like I don't know,
Some mysterious.
yeah, like a painter, like
Yeah.
this very, I don't know, maybe I write a Wagnerian symphony instead,
Sure.
and you don't know it yet, and I don't know it yet.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
I hope not.
Well, thanks, Zeno. Talk to you soon, and yeah, looking forward to it.
as well.
Peace.
Ciao.